I would like to introduce you to Jane Ireland from Quack Quack Books. Hello, Jane. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank you for being my guest here today. So would you like to introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about you before we start?
Yes, so I'm Jane. I run Quack Quack Books, which is, so I'm an Usborne book lady. I live in central London, and I've been with Usborne as a partner for 8 years. I had my 8th business birthday in September. And yeah, I absolutely love everything there is to love about Usborne books in general, and the network marketing industry. Love it.
So were you a bookworm as a kid?
Oh yeah, I am one of these people whose mother had to say, "Will you get your nose out of that book and come and eat your tea?" You know.
Yeah, I was one of them too.
Yeah, I also have one of those in my house. Yeah,
that's good.
My son is the same. Yeah.
So do you think that you being an Usborne book rep, whatever you call yourselves now, I've forgotten, partner, that's the word, isn't it? Partner. Do you think that has influenced your son and his reading?
A little bit, yes, a little bit. Yeah, it certainly made him read different things when I started. So he was 8 when I started, and he was already a bookworm, but he read a greater range of things when I had more Usborne books coming into. So yeah, it definitely has, so he's picked up things that he wouldn't necessarily have picked up just because they're there in the house.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's probably had a huge impact, more impact than you could possibly imagine.
Well, also the impact that on him has been that he can physically see that it's bringing in money.
Yeah.
And so that on the days when he was like, oh, why do we have to, when he used to have to come with me, he was why do we have to go and do this? And I was like, well, you're having a birthday, aren't you? You want some presents, don't you?
Yeah.
So it's taught him the value of money and what to go out, getting in. So that's been an effect that I never thought, I didn't even think about it, but it's been a good effect. Yeah.
So 8 years ago, what got you started? What made you start?
So 8 years ago, I was a catering manager in a secondary school in London. And I'd been working in catering for about 15 years and in schools for about 5 years, I think. And I wanted some extra money. And I was thinking, actually, extra money for Christmas and bits and pieces. So I was basically looking up somewhere, extra jobs or something, things you can do from home. I saw an advert for this, spoke to my now mentor, my upline, and I think neither of us thought I was going to join, because I was thinking of all the things that all the things that were going to stop me. But I was like, oh, what the hell? So I did it, signed up. And then 2 weeks later, it was a very stressful job and lots of things were going on. And I actually went off from work with stress and depression. And actually, so from being something a little bit on the side that I can do from home, it then became my sole income. Wow. And it made me go out and speak to people instead of I had to go out in the morning for the school run, but instead of going home and saying woe is me on the sofa, I had to go out and speak to people. I had to go out and sell books. I had to, just going out of the house. I couldn't just sit and do nothing because I had this business to go. And honestly, I think it saved my life.
Wow.
It was it was something to do. It was an income, and eventually I left my full-time job. Probably later than I should have, but that's another story. And I've never looked back, really. There's been some ups and downs, but it's I am proof that you can do this job when you've got mental health conditions going on, and actually it's a good thing. I think that it's not just something else that you have to do. It's the thing that's made me go out and meet people and do things and all the rest of it. So that's why I'm still here.
Exactly the same for me. Those of you that have heard my story, it's exactly the same. I started because I had an anxiety problem, couldn't go out and work. So It was just something that suited at the time, something that helps you do something else to focus on, something else to help develop yourself as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, exactly. It's it stops you from being not exactly introverted, but it stops you from being insular and looking in,
Yes. It gives you another sense of purpose, I think, when you are not in the right place.
Yeah, and it's not just about being a mum or a wife or whatever, it's about being you as a person. And also, if you've agreed to go out and sell some books somewhere or to meet people, then there's that thing that, I must go because so-and-so is relying on me, and so it makes you go out and it makes you speak to people.
And that sense of community as well, of other people all doing the same thing as you, that is separate from your other world.
Because and I think you need that, because otherwise you could be a bit Billy no mates and you'll be lonely. You feel like you could be lonely or something, because when you're working from home, you're working by yourself. That's the nature of it. But if you go out and meet people, whether they're customers or other sellers or whatever it happens to be, you get a different community. And I've made some really good friends through this work.
And even for those people that can't get out and about, when you are, that poorly, that ill, and you can't get out and about, that community that you can create on social media, even with the team or in your own Facebook group, can have a massive impact on your well-being. Making all those friends.
I mean, there's plenty of people I haven't met in person, but I would still say they're friends and good friends, so.
And we're meeting tomorrow.
I know, super excited, yay!
I know. How long have we known each other now, Jane?
Oh, it must be, I say about 18 months. It's probably a couple of years now, I suppose, is it?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, probably.
I'm so excited.
I know. So excited to come and see you. So it's going to be great fun. Anyway,
you don't get down to London very often,
Well, I've been to the centre of London about 3 times. This will be my possibly 4th, and that's it. So I am absolutely terrified of finding my way around. So going out of the comfort zone. It's easy
once you know it, she says.
Once you know, exactly. And that's the same with this industry, though, isn't it? It can be absolutely terrifying because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you are. You're struggling to get that next sale or that next recruit. And it can be terrifying, especially when you've got...
I think sometimes you have an idea in your head of what it's going to be like, and it's nothing like that. I thought I'd be sitting in people's houses all well, not all day long, but I'd be sitting in different people's houses doing parties and things like that. I have done that, but actually I've done a lot of different things, so
but then once you learn how to do it, actually it's not that bad.
No, exactly.
For me on the tube tomorrow.
Oh, the excitement, If you get on the wrong one, don't forget you can just get off and come back.
That will be me.
Happens to all of us, even when we live in London. So,
Oh God, great. Anyway, right, I'll just make sure I've left lots and lots of time. Right, so back to our little chat. I want to know, what part of this business brings you the most joy?
Getting books into the hands of children. Sorry, children of hands of children. Yeah, getting books into the hands of children, particularly those who can't afford books. And so that's why I work a lot with schools, because Usborne give a lot of free stuff as well. So that's what's in it for a school. But it's because these days, there's always children whose parents can't afford to buy them a book for whatever reason, or can't afford to sponsor them in a sponsored read, for example. But the joy of working with schools is that all the children in the school will benefit from these stuff, that the free books and things. So I love working in a book fair with children, and I love seeing how excited they are about books, because you know, there's such a wide variety of things that they're going to be excited about. It's not all the same one, because, you know, children, you know, they're individuals the same as adults, and so they've got their own likes and dislikes, and there's always something that, you know, they'll, you know, so I always learn something about, you know, what the books mean and to them and things. But I absolutely love getting making sure that thousands of children over the years, I suppose, have got access to books that they otherwise wouldn't have. And sometimes it's the type of books that they probably their parents wouldn't buy for them. It's a reference book to have at school, for instance, you know. So I remember, that's my absolute favorite bit.
I remember both my daughter and my son coming home from their nursery with a Usborne children's atlas or an encyclopedia, you know, the little dinky ones, the pocket ones, and they still just absolutely loved them. They absolutely loved them, and it's something that they probably still got somewhere, even at 20 and 16. But the joy on their face getting that book as a freebie at the end of the school, well, the nursery time that they were there, was just lovely. And I think being able to have that impact must be really rewarding.
Oh, it's so exciting when you go back. I don't drive, so I get the books delivered to the school, and then I pop to the school and bag them up and everything. And while I'm in there, if I'm in a place where the kids can see me as I'm walking past, they're like, "Oh my God, the book lady is here!" And it's just so exciting, you know. And they're like, "Is my book ready? Is my book ready?" You know. And so they get so excited. You know, they get really, really excited. And actually, you know, there have been moments when I've just been out in the street, like not on my way home from the book fair, and some child has gone, "Oh my God, it's the book lady!" You know.
I love it.
So, you know, that never gets old. You know, it's like, "Oh, the book lady." Yeah. Then poor parent is like, "What?" You know.
Somebody's put in the comments, "I have such fond memories of Usborne and Poppy and Sam."
Poppy and Sam are still going. I don't think I've got any Poppy and Sam to hand, but yeah, they are still going. Poppy and Sam. Find the Yellow Duck.
Yeah.
That's why I'm called Quack Books.
Oh, I love it. So a little bit of a change of topic. I want to know what you wish you knew when you first started your business. What do you wish you'd done?
Follow up. The fortune is in the follow up, as some lady called Anna Green would say.
It's not just me. I think it's a well-known phrase.
Well, it is, but we don't listen, do we? You know, we not that we think we know it all, but we know that we ought to do it, but we don't really know why we ought to do it, and we don't know how to do it, or actually we're just really scared to do it, which is, I have been really scared to follow up. And so it's me going, I've been here 8 years, I've been in your program for 18 months or so, and only now in the last month have I downloaded an app so I can follow it easier. I mean, how ridiculous is that? You know, but it's, you think, you know, I thought I had a system before, but I had a system, it just wasn't working for me. And so now the fortune is in the follow-up. And well, two things with that is that making sure you do follow up with everybody. And even if then you think they're ghosting you, or if they're just not replying, you don't know what's going on in their life. So they might just be busy, you know. So it's like, sometimes if people send me a message, you might get a reply there and then, or it might not be for 3 weeks. So it's, you know, if we do that, then why don't we think that other people might do that? So that's the first thing. But also, don't keep chasing after them forever if it's not going to go anywhere. Set yourself a boundary as to how many times you're going to go back to them. And then you can sort of like say, okay, well, I've been back to them like 3 weeks in the trot, nothing's happened. I'll leave them for another 6 months or something, or however long, you know. So because otherwise you could just be flogging a dead horse, and they might not be your ideal customer, so they're never going to buy from you.
No. And follow up, I totally agree, is the one thing that most people do not do, or they do incorrectly, or not enough of. Definitely. And there are so many different people you can follow up with. It doesn't just have to be customers. It doesn't just have to be about a sale, like we were talking about in the training that we've done it was the Fire Up Boot Camp, wasn't it, that we did in November. It's just so valuable. And imagine where you would have been. Actually, no, don't imagine where you would have been.
No, like, this not
you're going to be now.
It's what you would have won, you know.
Yeah, well, that's what I used to do. I had the same thing. I was terrified of follow-up, didn't do it. And when I actually grasped it, my business doubled within 6 months.
Yeah.
It massively impacted how my business ran. And it wasn't actually taking me much more time. It's probably taking me less time because I was looking after the people I had rather than always trying to find new.
Yeah.
So yes, very good one. I like it. So following on from that, what's made the biggest impact? What have you done that has made that huge impact on your business and made you more successful?
Working on my mindset, which is something that I just didn't even think it was a thing, Somebody, if you said mindset to me 2 years ago, I would have said, what? But since coming into your program, that's something you're always talking about, mindset and the importance of mindset. And then I found Gemma Holden.
Yes, Mrs. Mindset.
Mrs. Mindset, yes. And she is amazing. And I did a course with her and you earlier in the year, Secrets to Success, which was phenomenal. And I think the biggest thing apart from that is like working on your mindset every day. So every day I start my day by working on some sort of mindset. It's about, it's not just in relation to the business, it's about me. Because as you were always saying, that, for all the various businesses, what we are unique each as the person. So what's unique about my business is mine. And so, so working on my mindset every day has been the thing that has changed everything. And that's, that's how I would, going on to the follow-ups and all the rest of it, working on me has been the biggest change.
Yeah. And I would agree totally. I would be the same. That's that belief that you can do something, that positive mental attitude. And I know that sounds really cheesy, but looking on the brighter side of life, on business, on every single aspect of everything, that's all part of mindset, and accepting as well. Yeah,
exactly. It doesn't mean to say that you've got to go with hell for the leather and everything, and you've got to be fantastic. It's say yes to every single thing, but also
think everything's wonderful.
No, it's not. Everything's not wonderful, but you can flip it to say that it might, it could be wonderful, or actually it's not worked for this reason, but actually the good thing about it is whatever. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So before we go, one last top tip from you for everybody here in the network marketing world.
Take the time to make relationships with people, I think, and it doesn't have, not necessarily in a business sense, but in Facebook groups or just generally people you meet, chatting with them. You never know who's going to turn out to be your ideal customer, or they might not be at the moment, but you never know what's going to happen. They might know somebody, but it's just like widening your circle of friends, the people that you speak to, and just always having it in the back of your mind that you might have an amazing opportunity for them.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, building relationships totally is very, very, very important, and I love that top tip. Absolutely love it.
Don't be a spammy pammy.
No, build the relationships. Yes. So thank you so much, Jane, for coming on here and having a conversation.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you to everybody for watching. If you want to find Jane, where can they find you, Jane?
They can find me at Quack Quack Books on Instagram and Facebook, and you can then find your way into my VIP customer group from there.
Brill. Thank you so much. I shall see you all soon. Thanks for watching.
Bye.